this journey of open government. So to that point, okay, I saw that Your Excellency, just a request from the media team. We are now live. They are requesting that you recap your points so that the people watching can get the remarks.
So very top recap from, okay, yeah. So 1 second, I'll just, so thank you very much, Mr. Misoi. So to recap, thank you to the county government of Nandi, as well as civil society for embracing the open government partnership. And what we're hoping for from this partnership is to ensure that we have open procurement in the county government of Nandi. And this will run on five areas. So it's around making sure that the county government has the capacity to actually produce open information around public procurement. It's making sure that the county government also has the capacity in terms of its human resource to also make sure that this is possible. It's the drafting of a county open government policy as well as a bill in close consultation with the Public Procurement Authority and the National Treasury, and ensure that the system utilizes open source software and is able to use both online as well as offline technical solution. And then again, as the source of champions, to ensure that the county government is also linked to other governments, innovators, and organizations that are pioneering and supporting innovative alternative solutions across the board. So this is not just in Kenya, this is actually something that is of interest globally. And this open contracting portal and partnership, it will allow the county government to proactively disclose and publish public procurement data. This is a very big deal. The fact that the county government is sitting down and is partnering with civil society to make sure that all public information around procurement is proactively disclosed to citizens. How much do things cost? Where is taxpayer money going? And to make sure that this is also in forms that are very easily digestible. And for the public, the portal will facilitate access to public contracting and information, as we had seen in the right to information in the Constitution of Kenya. So to recap, we are looking forward to this robust and fruitful partnership with the government and the people of Nandi County, Your Excellency. We are very grateful for being hosted, and to all partners present, civil society, courage, just take heart. To all representatives from the different county departments, Mr. Misoi, the county executive and county assembly, asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So at this point, I want to invite Waziri Finance, Alfred Lagat, CPA, to take over the program from here.
Thank you so much, Misoi, and also most grateful for the work that you've done through this process. Your Excellency, Madam DG, our partners led by Mendy, right? Mendy, not Menti. Mendy Jojo, interesting name, from HIVOS. All the partners present, our civil society network, and my team. Good morning again.
Good morning.
As I said, my name is Alfred Lagat. I'm the CC member in charge of finance and economic planning. I will be very brief because what we've discussed or what we've just mentioned is a culmination of a process that has lasted for about 3 or 4 months ever since we started, and it has mostly been an online engagement. Foremost is to really be grateful to our partners led by HIVOS for accepting to onboard us in this process. And it's been a journey. I remember from the word go, the remark that I made was that really we're making a commitment to be open ourselves. I mean, it's not easy for a government to decide to bear it all for the citizens to see what is happening, because you set yourself up for criticism and sometimes not very pleasant comments. But this is an endeavor that we decided that we were ready to bear, and therefore I'm grateful that we've come to this. We came in at a time when really we could say there was a lot to be done. The past 5 years for us as a government have basically been setting up structures. structures which we can now comfortably say that we want to build on, and we can take stock of a number of things that really are geared towards cementing these two commitments, that is open contracting and the issue of public participation. I can be able to pinpoint a number of those things which I know has put a foundation for us to now then build on. 5 or 4 years ago when we came in, we realized that everything that would be required to be in place for purposes of proper or prudent management of public finances really hadn't been done, and therefore we committed ourselves to doing it. And we've been able to do about 6 or 7 things that were very critical. One was the obvious things that have been provided for in law. For example, the issue of the audit committee, which was non-existent. We had to sit down and set up an audit committee. Tarno mentioned that they resigned. Yes, they resigned, and immediately we were able to appoint a new audit committee as required by law. And the resignation of the first committee was purely on their personal reasons, and they were not able to discharge their work effectively. So we were able to set up an audit committee, which then has been discharging its roles accordingly. Secondly, we were able to set up a county budget and economic forum, something that was not there in the first 5 years of devolution. So we have a vibrant county budget and economic forum, albeit not engaging at its full potential, but then, as I said, it is a case of setting structures, as it were. We've also been able to set up a county statistical data. We have a data desk that is currently ongoing through the support of Open Institute. We realize that as we engage the citizens without credible or proper data, really it's close to an effort in futility. So currently, with the support of Open Institute, we are in the process of setting up a county data desk. We recently set up a statistics unit, which is, I think, we're among 3 or 4 counties that have set up a fully fledged statistics unit within the county to be able to generate credible data through production of a county statistical abstract, and that is also something that will be ready in a week or 2. We've also been able to have the public participation bill enacted, approved at the Assembly, to then give the basis for us to engage the citizenry effectively. We've also set up other structures like the monitoring and evaluation, among those other structures. These then have been foundational output that we've been trying to put in place so that we sort of start looking up and ensuring that we are ready for the citizens to engage with us. When we came in, I remember the last 5 years of the formative years of the devolution, the county really had, in its audit opinion, it was adverse. And if you understand adverse, it is the worst opinion. Actually, not adverse, disclaimer. Disclaimer says there's nothing equals 0, so it is the lowest. I mean, so it was disclaimer for 5 years. But since we came in and we instituted a raft of measures, we've actually been able to move from disclaimer, jumped adverse, and came all the way to a qualified audit opinion, which then has been the opinion, which is the second best opinion, second to an unqualified opinion. That is the opinion that we've had for the last 4 years. And for us, we are happy with that because we can see the fruits of the measures we put in place. We've capacitated staff in areas that we really knew the issues in terms of accounting for funds. We've been able to make the requisite changes. And I'm not saying we are yet there yet, but at least we are happy that we've been able to pull out of the worst opinion to the second best opinion. Nonetheless, we really still can say that we still are lacking in some areas, and that is where this partnership comes to address. Tarno mentioned about an issue of public participation. Sometimes well before the issue of COVID, we've always had engagement with the public in terms of all the statutory papers that we submit, from the CFSP, the County Annual Development Plan, the budget estimates, the CBROP, and all that. Whereas we've done that as a routine, I can say the output or the whatever feedback we get has really been underwhelming, in the sense that we don't get much input that would then feed into the budgeting process. And I'm therefore happy that there is a process by Open Governance Institute that I attended myself, the training of you call them the budget officers, yeah? Budget facilitators, because I realized even during those times, we could ask the civil society to give us some input, and I couldn't say I could get anything tangible really from the civil society, whereas everyone else wants to be satisfied that we've done a public participation. We've actually negated the content of the feedback, because real over and above being seen to have participated or engaged in a public, in a participatory manner, the concern also is what are we getting from the public. So therefore, it's really coming in at the right time when now we're ready to do some serious capacity building, both at the grassroots level and even the officials within the county, so that then the engagement, the public participation engagement that we'll have will really be useful and the feedback will be worth it. We've tried, over the past 2 years, we've been trying to come up with a citizen-friendly budget. I remember that's what we shared even in the last one, that because initially we thought maybe the document is too complex or too bulky, but we've had a citizen a Mwananchi version of the budget document, and you'll find about 90% of those documents are in our website. So then the fact that we've been able to share those documents is a step itself in the right direction. The next thing now is how to synthesize this information, how the people can interrogate and then give us worthy feedback, as it were. And therefore, that is something we as a government are really ready to engage in. We were among the first people when the directive, the executive order, was it 2018, of the issue of the procurement? Yeah. Sorry? Executive order number 2. We're actually among the first people who took on it and were able to disclose the information that was required by the presidential directive. Together with that, also we were among the first people who embraced the online procurement, as it were. And I remember the first time, really, most counties were saying, no, forget about this thing, let it fail deliberately so that we do the manual way. But for our case, it was, I hope it can work, so that we try and see whether it will make things work. And we really tried and were able to succeed to a certain degree in doing the online procurement method, albeit with a number of challenges. So when now we're coming in to even ask now through this process that you give us a portal that is integrated to the PPRA to be able to disclose these standard documents. For us, it's a joy. It's really something that we're yearning to go through and to be able to enhance that process. Overall speaking, is that really the first 10 years, I've said, has been foundational. Somebody said it takes 15 years for foundations and for devolution to really take root. For us, I can say we've tried within the first 5 years, within the 5 years that we've been in office, we've tried to put a number of things in place. The last hitch that Tarna mentioned about county fiscal strategy paper that was not subjected to public participation, really, I can explain it in 2 prongs, though not necessarily to justify it, but basically we came from a COVID period where we couldn't engage the public, and we've been asking for written submissions. So in 2020, we asked for written submissions. I think we only got 1 submission from Chamber of Commerce. Yet that is something we had broadcasted broadly there. Same case, the last CFSP, there was also a request for written submissions, but it didn't work because we didn't get any response. Therefore, this tells us then the idea that we're saying we look at creative ways of engaging with the public is something that I really welcome, because most of the times I've not been able to get feedback that I would say I want to rely on. You sometimes even have to prompt certain groups. Can you respond? Have you seen that we put out something for your attention? You prompt them, but nothing is forthcoming. So as we engage in this partnership, creative or better ways that will make Wananchi be better engaged is really something that is welcome. Most of the other public participations, a soda and a mandazi or a bread was enough creative means of getting them to attend, but you will always find the risk of beyond them attending and eating the soda and mandazi, you don't then get the input. So I hope we can delve further and get better ways and of engaging. And for me, really, and us as a government, the way that you guys are going, and especially after I went what Mzalenda and Open Governance Institute are doing, I think is something that we really want to buy into, and to get a more participatory and a more engaging citizenry when it comes to public participation. So overall, we want to really say thank you, this team, for accepting to sit with the government. You know, by fate, our fate are tied together. We have to succeed together. It's no longer now a case of, and I'm happy I have Tarno here. It has always been us against them. Now it is us collectively, and therefore Tarno and the civil society network in Nandi County is to really confirm that we really are willing to engage together with the partners that have come on board. We really want to, we have the willingness to succeed. We will be here today, tomorrow we're gone, but devolution remains. So our legacy is to remain, or to have processes entrenched that, irrespective of who sits on that seat, systems and processes are running as it ought to be. So we're really grateful to have you, and the signing of this MOU is a testament that first we are engaged and we are ready to go into this process. Anything else that shall be required to ensure that this MOU and the process runs smoothly is an undertaking and a commitment that we're giving as a government, that we will do that to ensure that we emerge victorious. I know this is a phase one running for, is it 1.5 months, 1.5 years? Up to June, and then we start another one. We really hope we'll take stock of tangible results in this. So without much ado, I will then ask Her Excellency, Madam Deputy Governor, to make her remarks. Before then, we can proceed, led by the CS in signing the MOU as the Deputy Governor guides us on how we'll proceed. So, Excellency, karibu sana, make your remarks, and officially invite these people to Nandi. We've actually been meeting online. Yes.
Thank you so much, Waziri and our Chief Officer, for all that the input that you have brought forward. Thank you, Minde, and your team, Zalendo Trust, NTA, OGI, civil society networks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a very pivotal moment for us to be here at such a time as this, to take this conversation forward. We have had these engagements, we are aware, as much as we may not have come in personally. We have been updated on the progress over time, and we are excited that it's finally coming to fruition, that we are putting pen on paper. We want to appreciate your commitment as partners to support us as Nandi County. I want to confirm the commitment of His Excellency Governor Sang on this process, and on us being open on our processes, being able to access information. This is a commitment that we already made a while back, led by His Excellency, and even for us to have availed a call center for us to enhance citizen participation. That in itself was a step in that direction, to demonstrate that we are willing to engage, irrespective of the fact that probably physical engagement may not be that forthcoming as often. But the fact that we had a call center that enables citizens to call in, and we would also call in, we would follow up on patients, for example, who come to hospital, and we want to know how they're doing. Were they treated well at the hospital? How is the medication helping them? And how, like if they have any concerns, we are able to pick up. We've also had in agriculture situations where maybe a farmer requires AI services, and they would call the call center, and they're connected to the nearest attendant who is in their neighborhood, and they would have their animals served. So really, for us as a county administration, we came in, as Waziri has indicated, we came in and found we needed to lay foundations. Really, there were many things, structures were not there, and much of our time in these 4 years has really largely been on laying foundation. And even as we understand the concerns of civil society, that probably they wanted more information and which was not forthcoming, it's not intentional. It's just that sometimes the information that is being required is something that is still being processed, and that really we have nothing to hide. We are public servants. We are handling public resources, which we have to account for, and it's not like we want to steal. We want to ensure that resources go to desired programs, and NTA has been on the ground with us, and they can bear witness that sometimes some of the projects we have committed to contractors, you may find that probably somebody has not done a good job. It's not because we as government refuse to do our job. Sometimes the person who has been given a job may have been probably not adequate in terms of capacity. But you see, when you're assessing bids, you have no way of knowing whether this person has full capacity or not. Somebody has provided documentation, there is enough evidence that this person can actually handle the work, but when you hand it over to him or her, they do a shoddy job, probably because they themselves do not believe in doing a good job, or they actually don't have the capacity. Our coming up with a call center in itself enabled us to be rated very well. Last time, Nandi County got the People's Choice Award on account of our call center. And that in itself enabled actually Nandi to be number 2 globally, representing Kenya. Yeah. So I think Nigeria was number 1, and we were number 2. I mean, for us, we don't take it as a mean feat. You know, it's a significant contribution. And all I want to say is that we are work in progress. We have the commitment. We are making steps. We are doing what we know needs to be done. We may not move at the speed that probably is anticipated. Our people are very, I don't know what word to use. I don't want to say they're very judgmental. But they have a lot of, they are anxious to see results. You get. And sometimes, you know, like when you are a mother, I'm sure you're one. When you're a mother, there is a season that a child has to go through before they are able to stand on their own. This is the season that we are calling, we have laid foundations. And I think from where I sit as DG, from where I sit, I am convinced that given another opportunity, another 5 years, we will do a marvelous job in this county. And therefore, you guys coming on board to hold our hand, to enable, build capacity for our teams, we will actually reduce the time that we are using to achieve our desired outcomes. By you coming to build capacity, I remember even when the executive order number 2 came, and we realized that our teams lacked capacity. We had, through him and the State Department of Treasury, organized trainings on IFMIS and things like that. These are some of the things that we've been doing to just build capacity. And I remember His Excellency once telling us, we would rather spend more time sharpening the axe, and we will take a shorter time to achieve. And that's basically what we have been trying to do. We realize that our workforce largely is youthful. Actually, our county is largely youthful. 75% of our Nandi population is under 35. And most of our workforce are young people. Some of who have never had an experience to work in government. And also now with the new experiences of doing things in government, you realize that people have to be trained to be able to get the knowledge and the know-how to be able to actually implement what is required of them. So from where I sit, and on behalf of the county government of Nandi, we appreciate every one of you as partners who have, one, believed in Nandi. I am sure you wouldn't want to work with a county that you have doubted. We don't take it for granted that you have believed in us. And we welcome you to Nandi. We welcome you to journey with us. I know these 2 months or so are going to be very critical and very engaging. We want to commit that we will give the necessary support to ensure that we achieve what we desire for our 2 areas of focus. And we look forward to further engagement beyond August 2022. May God bless you, and may each one of us experience the joy of serving God through humanity. Thank you so much. We will now move over to
Unless there is a question or two from the media or Her Excellency and Madam Nandi. Is there any question that you need clarified now that no question?
So we can move over to witness the signing of the MOU in the governor's room, the governor's office. Minde.
Yes.
That is son.
Asante sana. I'm very glad to be there.
Naangusha news. Imekuwa breaking news.
You are breaking news.
I'll drop the mic.
Songa kidogo. Songa kidogo. Hebu kidogo. Hapa. Safi.
Yes, please.
The other partners of the next. Yes. NTA.
Where is
And let's have the other partners. Zalendo. Zalendo.
Hope?
OGI team.
Hope.
Team.
We are hoping on
back
Hope
up.
to come here.
Hatuhitaji
OGI.
Timothy. Just go stand over there.
NTA
Zalendo.
and IEA.
The person to sign. And you can stand. Then it will be next. So yes.
Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome to the signing of the MOUs. The first one will be done by Her Excellency the DG, and on behalf of the County Government of Nandi, and then the Ivo's Regional Director, and on behalf of Ivo's. Then we will also have next Mr. Lendo Trust, then the NTA, and then IEA. Those ones witnessing will witness after. Yes. Thank you very much, Karibun. Feel free. We have about 7 copies. Eh?
This is one.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for the first round of MOU signing.
We can exchange.
Let's finish. Let's finish.
After they finish, just.
Yeah, let's have Saledo Trust. The present signing is Caroline Gaita. Oh yes, and NTA. Hopefully we'll witness together. Yes. Yeah, let's proceed. Huh? Are we supposed to be quiet like that? All right. This one is not silent.
No, we will come outside with hope. You have the hope. Once more, let's put our hands together. Let's have IEA and hope for
OGI.
OGI rather. Yes, thank you very much.
Timothy, please join me.
Timothy plus hope, I think.
Hope is witnessing.
Yes. We started the round of witnessing now.
Okay. Nandi, I gave him. Oh, there's one.
Okay, so follow the chain. All right.
Sorry?
Below it, there are 7.
Let's put our hands together for this team. Thank you very much. The next witness will be for the county government of Nandi.
Dr. Francis Sang.
I will request Francisca to sit with me so that I am not alone. So that I am not alone.
Shango Muziki,
Asante sana.
Timothy, you've left your mask.
Oh, yeah, this thing is crazy. We have to get used to it.
So we will next go for exchange. We'll begin with Ivo's and the county government of Nandi, the Excellency, the DG, and the director. Maybe, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You can do one photo without the exchange.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellency, the DG and Salendo. Next.
Zalendo Trust.
Let me remove my mask. Sorry about that.
Chapa moja bila hiyo. Yes. As NTA gets ready, yeah?
Yes.
Francisca.
Thank you. Thank you.
Asante. OGI next.
Thank you.
OGI. Tarno, you'll on behalf of IEA exchange for the purpose of that. CSO, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Bwana Tarno.
Cha kwanza. Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah, it's just that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Picha bila vitabu.
Where a lady of CSO, what, CSO network?
CSO network team come for
Oh, we will go to photo session.
Outside?
No, here. Tutamaliza tu nusu nusu.
hapa.
Tutapiga nusu nusu.
Happy Nick. Nick.
To balance.
The lady?
Oh, Olunga, you're there?
Yeah.
Where's Nick?
Nick?
She's the name again. Sharif.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Asanteni sana. The
Partners.
DG and the partners, the representatives.
She hasn't signed.
Yes.
Sorry?
She has signed visitors book.
Really?
Mbika hiyo picha alafu wamalizie.
What's an omission? What's a lack of participation on my part?
Partners.
Visitors
So you want to be down outside there? Okay, for DG, yeah? And the tableau.
Nandi. It's actually my ethnic name because people can think it's an English name, but it's not. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Picha, eh?
Yeah.
Wacha tu wamalize na photos alafu tufanye hii interview, eh? You can, the partners.
The other partners to sign kindly. OGI.
Is this usually?
Oh, yes.
No, normally.
This particular is a ceremonial.
But it's
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Moja wamaliza alafu tuingie. Inashika sisi yote. Sio wengine mwingie. Wanakwenda. Yaani zamu. Job. Nani bado? Nataka kuchukua picha na DT.
We are running short of time. We still have a presser. So asanteni sana. From here we will have our technical meeting, and maybe we will allow the partners briefly together with me. We address the media, and then we meet at the technical committee meeting. Kindly.
Boardroom.
Is it in the boardroom?
No, it's in Alex.
Alex.
Alex, the technical meeting, then Alex.
So mtatuguide tufanye kwa haraka. Tuharakishe. And we're doing it in English or Swahili or Kalenjin? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have witnessed a signing of Memorandum of Understanding between the County Government of Nandi and a number of partners, including HIVOS, including IOGI, NTA, Mzalendo Trust, and IEA, on a partnership for us to support each other on expanding our mandate. That we already signed a commitment in our Open Governance Action Plan. Nandi is one of the counties in Kenya that has been admitted to open governance. And we have identified and recognized gaps in us being able to achieve what is mandated to us as county governments. And one of the areas is in the area of public participation. This is a new concept which came in with the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And when we came into office in 2017, we realized that we didn't have structures to enable us that implement that effectively. We have over time been able to put together an office. We have come up with a policy and a bill to enable us to be able to effectively get that done. We have had bottlenecks from time to time. However, as one of the innovations as County Government of Nandi, we came up with a call center that has enabled us to engage citizens over time. And we know this is one of the ways that has enabled us to communicate with our public. Today, we have partners coming in to help us to build capacity for our teams, but also to build capacity on our citizenry through our civil society networks, to enable our public, the citizens of Nandi, to be able to oversight and to keep the government in check. And therefore, this is a very important partnership for us as a county government. We recognize that we may not be able to have the technical capacity to do this on our own, and our partners are coming to support us in that aspect. Apart from that, we will be having training for our teams as well as our public. And this partnership collectively is going to amount to 20 million shillings. And we know this is a very significant contribution towards this exercise. Apart from public participation, our other area of focus following the Executive Order number 2 of 2018 on open contracting. This is a component that we have embraced, and we know that over time we have been able to identify gaps, and these partners are coming to support in building capacity for our teams to enable us to be able to put forward our information for the consumption of our general public, and so that we can engage meaningfully with our public. Thank you very much. Give a chance to the partners.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very historic day because it marks a day when we are signing a memorandum of understanding with the county government of Nandi. And as the DG said, this allows the people of the county of Nandi to have clear understanding of where funds and public procurement, how money is being used, as well as also setting the stage for making sure that effective public participation by the people of the county government of Nandi happens. So it is not just important for the county. It's a very big deal nationally as well as globally. Because as you know, one of the things that the Open Government Partnership has been trying to do is to try and encourage and work with county governments that without being forced, that without being compelled, actually stand up and say they are here to serve their citizens, and they are here to make sure that every action that they are carrying out, especially in the space of public procurement, is open to the public. So I'd really like to commend the county government of Nandi. I would really like to commend civil society that has been a very vigorous champion in terms of making sure that what the citizens need, as well as making sure effective citizen participation happens, as well as finally, last but not least, the great people of the county government of Nandi, that this day has actually come to pass. So thank you very much, and the very best of luck to everybody.